Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and this is the third part of my new loadout for Nerf Wars. I have finally taken the plunge into shields and melee a little bit more. One of the local Nerf Wars I go to, they very much embrace shields and melee. I do like that shields can be blown up with rockets, and if they do get blown up, they are out for the entire round. So shields do not respawn, which is an excellent rule, because otherwise they can be horribly broken, especially if not enough people brought rockets. So my loadout now includes rockets. But I decided to finally go ahead and build a shield because I like shields and I wanted to give it a try because they're fun. So I built this one. I wanted to make it look a bit like a riot shield, but obviously to have my general feel about it. I also wanted it to be very lightweight, and I didn't want it to be absolutely enormous. A couple of shields I've seen were probably almost twice as wide as this, and there's really just no way to get around them. But you really can't easily fight around them. It's hard to get a melee weapon around something that big. It's hard to even get a gun around something that big. So I went with something with a much slimmer profile, just so that it would be a little bit more maneuverable. Personally, I would have liked it to be a little bit wider than this. Maybe if the sides had been flared a little bit more, that would have been fine. But all in all, I'm very pleased with it. It is, of course, as you can tell, a sled from Home Depot. I liked kind of the cutout look of it. I thought it gave it a neat design. I have cut out a hole towards the top and put a plexiglass sheet in so that I can look through it like a riot shield. I can actually hold it all the way up and completely guard my head and still be able to shoot around it. My legs, of course, be exposed, but that's, a risk you have to take. The handles, I had some difficulty deciding how I wanted to strap it. Whether I wanted to have a horizontal handle like the Roman shields did, or if I wanted a vertical handle more like the Zulus did. And in the end, I decided to go with both. So there's enough room to be able to use either of them, and it really depends on what I'm using it for. If I'm using it in melee, then I will use it with the top handle, which is the Roman style, which I find to be a much better way of strapping the shield for melee combat, because it gives you a lot more, I feel, versatile control of the shield, especially for the shield style that I've trained with, which was Roman shield tactics. It allows you to do a lot of very offensive stuff with your shield and a lot more active defensive stuff with the shield as well. The Zulu style handle, the vertical handle, is for when I'm using it more like a riot shield, and I'm actually want to being able to view through the window, because it allows me to hold it up at eye level and look through the window and then shoot around it with a pistol. So that was the design behind that, and I'm looking forward to giving it a try at the war this weekend. People have caught on to the whole shield thing, and more rockets are coming out, so I'll probably get blown up a few times, but that's all in good fun. So we'll see how long the paint job lasts. It actually is vinyl dye, but it did not take very well, probably just because of the type of plastic, or it may have been treated externally to make it a little bit, yeah, it does kind of feel like there's a film on there, actually, to make it slide better, and so it didn't quite dye well. It's more just like spray paint, and so you can already see nicks and marks, and that's just from being moved around my shop. So it will get battle-scarred and beautiful very quickly. And for melee, I have built this wonderfully nerdy piece of equipment. I have built a foam buffer lightsaber. Somebody had mentioned that I should make one, and I realized that was a fantastic idea. And I already had the orange pool noodles, so I had a blade in my color. I went to Goodwill and I found this particular lightsaber, which I very, very liked. Somebody sent me 6 very nice lightsabers, and I didn't want to use any of them because they're the kind where the blade collapses up into the handle, which makes for a bit ungainly wide handle. And so I wanted something that was a little bit narrower, and this was one of the light and sound ones. So when you push the button, the lights lit up and it lit up the blade, and it made swooshing sounds when you swung it around, and it had vibration and all of that. All of that unfortunately got gutted, but it meant that it was much more natural, or a more realistic size, but it also made it very long, which was something I wanted because I wanted it to be a proper hand-and-a-half weapon, and it now is. You can in fact wield it with both hands quite comfortably, and so with the blade length that I put on there, this is in fact the exact dimensions of a German longsword, which is the style that I'm learning at the HEMA group that I just joined. So this is an opportunity to actually use some of the stuff that I've learned there, though I'm sure Lichtenhauer would be horrified to know that I'm using his style in this ridiculous manner. The way I constructed it, I, of course, like I said, gutted it completely and dremeled it out enough that I could get a PVC core in there. It's thick-walled PVC, so hopefully it will hold up. The blade is not currently, as you can tell, obviously not permanently attached. It will get more permanently attached before the war, but I want to still be able to trade it out because since it is not covered in anything, it is going to get torn up, but that's fine because it's a pool noodle and I can just slide a new one on later. The core goes the full length of the blade, and then the lower half below the handle has a large threaded steel bar in there that threaded into the PVC and allows it to actually balance exactly where it's supposed to for a German longsword, which is a couple of inches in front of the crossguard is where the sword balance should be. So you can wield it one-handed quite easily because it is counterweighted, but if you use two hands, you of course get more control and speed, and I'm looking forward to whipping this out and going shield and lightsaber at the war because I am in fact a huge nerd. So there you have it. If you have any questions about that or the shield or anything else for that matter, just want to call me the huge nerd that I am, you go right ahead in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.